Introduction for Mercy. Mercy was established in 1999 in the midst of the rampant in Kosovo, where thousands of lives were lost and suffering was rampant. Touched by the suffering of innocent civilians, especially women and children, Mercy Malaysia aims to provide a platform for Malaysians to unite and play their part in the international humanitarian arena. Mercy Malaysia's first big mission was to Kosovo in June 1999. The organization has provided aid and humanitarian programs in 32 countries in crisis and non-crisis situations. Mercy Malaysia has also grown into a full-fledged humanitarian services from emergency response to recovery and rehabilitation in mitigation and prevention and disaster preparedness. Mercy have their own vision and mission, which is where vision is to be outstanding in delivery of medical and humanitarian aid to all, and the mission is an international non-profit organization focused on providing medical relief, sustainable health-related development, and risk reduction activities for vulnerable communities in both crisis and non-crisis situations.
Next, we move to activities of Mercy Malaysia International. First, India. In India, the second wave of COVID-19 has seen a dramatic spike in cases in the last 2 weeks, with the peak number of over 400,000 positive cases per day recorded on May 1st, causing extreme congestion in hospitals, mortuaries, and crematoriums. India had previously recorded over 300,000 cases every day for 10 days in a row, ranking second in the world behind the United States, with over 20 million COVID-19 positive cases and over 222,000 deaths. The majority of Indians, particularly the poor, are having difficulty getting treatment, medicine, and oxygen, which are all at critical levels. The densely inhabited areas of Maharashtra, Gujarat, New Delhi, and the densely populated province of Uttar Pradesh are among the hardest affected. The Malaysian Medical Aid Association, Mercy Malaysia, announced the establishment of the Mercy Malaysia India COVID-19 Fund to assist countries that have been badly impacted by COVID-19. Therefore, Mercy Malaysia will provide breathing apparatus such as ISO containers, oxygen concentrators, liquefied gas and oxygen cylinders, two-stage positive airway pressure BPAP device, and high-flow nasal cannula HFNC. They also do their work in Philippines. As we know, sexual and reproductive birth problems SRH are one of the world's major causes of disease and death among women. Around 75% to 80% of the persons impacted by crisis are women, children, adolescents. SRH services such as anti-birth care, prenatal care, postpartum and child care, family planning, and safe advice on abortion, and the treatment and prevention of sexually transmitted infections are available to these vulnerable populations. The 3-day training in Baybayon in Agalon in Ormoc City took place a year after Typhoon Haiyan. They were nursed and stereotypes from the Ormoc City Health Office. Mercy trainers give English instruction while Visaya translate were provided to participants by technical assistants. Adult education approaches such as lecturers, practical illustration, visual aid, moderated dialogues, and presentation have been used throughout the curriculum. The condom was used correctly on a penile shape, and at the end of the course, the right application of a diaphragm and the proper use of the clean delivery kit was shown CDK.
So the first issue at the Kim River on 7 March 2019, a chemical leak in Sungai Kim Pasir Gudang hospitalized approximately 500 individuals, with 10 of them in the intensive care unit for upper respiratory tract infections such as cough and sore throat. And then what Malaysia should do is they collaborate with the National Crisis Inventory and Response Center CRPC to treat incoming patients with symptoms of vomiting, trouble breathing, pain in the eyes, and sore throat when the San Gudang Stadium is designated as the focus point. The next issue is in Malaysia, pandemic COVID-19 that we know. On January 25, 2020, the first COVID-19 case in Malaysia was confirmed. And then Malaysia has released a 5-point strategic response plan for the global pandemic, funded by a 10 million ringgit injection from the Malaysian Bankers Association (ABM). And then Malaysia also has collaborated with the Ministry of Health MOHD and the National Crisis Preparedness and Response Center CPRC to offer the staff, equipment, facilities and energy required to tackle the growing number of COVID-19 cases. So the personal protection equipment PPE and medical equipment are among the items provided to government-run hospitals and clinics that are experiencing significant shortage. And then non-profit medical assistance organization help the CPRC support frontline MOH doctors by offering volunteers to help with health screening, logistics and food supply preparation. Next, Malaysia collaborates with the Malaysian Armed Forces to support the supply of personal protective equipment, PPE and food in quarantine centres across the country. And next, every night at 9 p.m, the Malaysia Mental Health and Psychosocial Support Team has been activated to provide emotional support via the hotline and live Facebook streaming. So the next issue in India, pandemic COVID-19. As we know that India had previously recorded over 300,000 cases every day for 10 days in a row, ranking second in the world behind the United States, with over 20 million COVID-19 positive cases and over 220,000 deaths. The majority of Indians, particularly the poor, are having difficulty getting the treatment, medicines, and oxygen, which are all at critical levels. Maharashtra, Gujarat, New Delhi, and the densely populated province of Uttar Pradesh are among the hardest affected. So the Malaysian Medical Aid Association Mercy Malaysia announced the establishment of the Mercy Malaysia India COVID-19 Fund to assist countries that have been badly impacted by COVID-19. So Mercy Malaysia will provide breathing apparatus such as ISO containers, oxygen concentrators, liquefied gas and oxygen cylinders, dispositive airway pressure BiPAP devices, and high flow nasal cannula SFNC. Palestine, Israel attack. So I will give you the additional info about the Mercy Malaysia in Palestine before this. Mercy Malaysia has assisted Palestinians in both war and non-war conditions in Palestine since the Gaza War 2008 until 2009. And since the commencement of the recent Israel attack, Mercy Malaysia has contributed 500,000 ringgit in emergency and medical assistance to Palestine. In coordination with strategic partners in Gaza and the West Bank, the non-governmental organization NGO Emergency Relief Action Program mobilized the aid. In this emergency phase, Mercy Malaysia will provide 3 sorts of aid, such as medical support and equipment to hospital in 2 locations, food assistance and shelter like temporary shelter, and mental health and psychosocial assistance for trauma sufferers. So the Mercy Malaysia has also started giving food and household utensils to 100 of the 1,200 families, as well as kitchen utensils, pillows, blankets and washing machine to another 50 families. And then the recipients are among the 72,000 households who have been impacted by Israel dictatorship. Other help to Palestine was organized during the first phase, including temporary shelter in Gaza and East Jerusalem, continuation of clean water delivery initiative, and psychiatric assistance, particularly for trauma victims.
For the first challenges for Mercy, it is implementing the partnership were at the central level. The first obstacle was establishing the relationship with the MOE at the national level, while others included teachers and students at the local level. It was difficult to connect the program with the ministry's broader strategy at headquarters and convincing certain senior ministry officials that the initiative's advantage outweighed the expenses was challenging. So, teachers and students are faced with two challenges where when to begin instill in teacher and students an appreciation for disaster preparation and its relevance to the school and its communities. For the second challenges is face as an organization in this operation was adhering to standards for medication and supplies. Mercy Malaysia is the organization in charge of this program, adheres to the Bangkok-based Save of Children's criteria of medication and preparation. The organization learned a lot from this since they had to make sure that any supplies, medication or kits they utilized were safe. It includes items that were not provided by Save the Children but were acceptable to the organization's partners and fulfilled international standards. Since then, the agency has established a set of standards and criteria for all of its medicines, and medical preparation.
My name is MOHAMAD SAFWAN YUSOH. My metric number is 2019448484, and I am from class 4E. So I'm going to take two of the challenge of Mercy Malaysia in providing help to the people. The first is full disaster reconstructions challenge. When non-governmental organization NGO, they cannot just simply go to the disaster areas and just send help. They must know the scale of the disaster and know how much people die, how much people live, and the following consequences that are going to happen after that disaster. So inclusion, they must see 360 degrees of the views, and it's actually hard, especially when it just happened in developed country like Indonesia, where most people live in margins of society. Margins of society is the people who live outside of the of socially accepted norms are regarded to be on the fringe of society. It is includes the poor, homeless, and special racial group. So they must have developing frameworks that attract people to help them in post-disaster construction challenge and financial difficulties. And this since they are non-profit global organizations, so they only depends on the donations. So according to the reports, the donation between 2009 and 2010 is having a difference gap between those two, and they also not just supply medical aids but also other categories of help like reconstruction, shelter, water supply, and more. And they also covers not one country, which is mostly around Southeast Asia and also the around the world. So basically they need a huge amounts in order to keep deliver the helps of funds to the people.
Okay, so now I will explain about the recommendation for Mercy Malaysia. So our first recommendation for Mercy Malaysia is firstly, the Mercy Malaysia have to ensure that humanitarian aid that given is for long-term impact, not by one-off impact. This is important for both parties between Mercy Malaysia and also the people who are in need. As for Mercy Malaysia, they can save their budget on transportation costs, on their time consuming, and also they doesn't have to do the same thing repeatedly. For example, they doesn't have to go for the same place to give the same humanitarian aid repeatedly year by year. As for the people who are in need, they can live happily in a peaceful and stable condition for a long time. Okay, so next, our second recommendation is Mercy Malaysia have to give training to all the volunteers before they proceed them to join the humanitarian mission. This is important for the new volunteer to ready on their mental and physical aspect. As for physical aspect, they have to work hard because there's a lot of work to do, and they have to ready with their high stamina. As for the mental aspect, they have to know how to calm down their self before calm down others, because when you help the people who are in need, there must be the people who are not stable in their mental condition, because they just suffered with some things like disaster. Okay. So with the training, they can know how to face this kind of people, and it will make the humanitarian mission going smooth. So our next recommendation for Mercy Malaysia is Mercy Malaysia have to collab with the local NGO when they give the humanitarian aid at their place. This is important because they can know what to do and what to help in the local place outside their area. They also can know what services that they can provide with the information given by the local NGO. As for example, we take Palestine. When in the winter season, the Palestinian people are maybe needs the blanket or some things like sweatshirt to keep them hot. Besides, when in the war season, they with the local NGO information, Mercy Malaysia can know how to cross the border to arrive in Palestine to give them shelter and also ensure the Palestinian people's safety. Okay, lastly, our recommendation for Mercy Malaysia is Mercy Malaysia must show their audit on all the resources given by the society. Okay, this is important for the Mercy Malaysia because they can get more trusted. They can get trusted from the people, so that the people can trust them by giving more and more resources or some things like energy, time, or money. Okay. Besides, by showing their audit to the society, this can help the Mercy Nation organization to avoid the misuse of power. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
In the conclusion, Mercy Malaysia is moving forward in providing help for the people, especially medical help, which is 5 fundamental principles, which are M, motivations, extremely driven, E, excellence, we do things in the right manners, respect, demonstrate trust and respect, C, collaboration, interacting with helpers and collaborators, Y, and we will go above and above in helping the people. Even though Mercy Malaysia is facing many difficulties and challenges in providing help for the people, they will go beyond of it, which the recommendations and proper solutions are going to be identified by them in order to achieve vision and mission, which is providing medical and humanitarian help to all people, and a worldwide non-profit agency dedicated to delivering medical and sustainable health related improvement and risk reduction initiatives to the disadvantaged community from both agency as well as non-crisis condition. I think that's all for the conclusion. Thank you very much.